Hi everyone, I'm Sumit, student of B.Sc Honors Botany, second year, and today I'm going to begin with one such interesting topic of botany, that is archegoniates. So we are going to discuss that what is archegoniates, what are unifying features of archegoniates, how they dominated over the land, and what were some features or identifying features also, how you are going to identify, yes, this is archegoniates. So before we begin with anything, I would like to show you some pictures so that you will be well versed with what is archegoniate and what are the plants which belongs to the archegoniates. So you can see these images. So the first image, this image is showing you a gametophytic plant body and a sporophytic plant body. But before we begin or before we move any further, I'd like to tell you what is gametophytic and what is sporophytic plant body. A gametophytic plant body is the body that has been developed from the haploid spores. Okay, and what is haploid? Haploid is one which contain half set or one set of chromosome. Okay, and as in case of sporophyte, here you can see this is a sporophyte which has been developed from the diploid plant structure. Okay, and diploid has whole set of chromosome or a pair of chromosome. As in case of human, we have 46 chromosome, that means 23 pair of chromosome. Okay, or take an example of wheat, in which we have n or haploid number is 6 and the diploid number is 2n, that is 12. Okay, so the first image is showing you a gametophytic plant body, some structure which is called as rhizoids. Here antheridium and archegonium. What is antheridium? It is a male sex organ and archegonium is the female sex organ in archegoniates. Okay, this is a sperm which is biflagellated, you can see, and this is an egg which is non-motile, and it is enclosed within the archegonium with some specialized structure which we'll discuss later. And there here one more thing, the one which is protonium, and protonium is nothing, it's an early gametophyte. Okay, this is a gametophytic plant body. This is also a gametophytic plant body of Markensia. This is Rixia, and this is Slaginella. This is Cycas, which belongs to the gymnosperm. And these two are from Bryophytes. These are, this is Pteridophyte. This is also the Moorpunky, which belongs to gymnosperm. Okay, this is Funaria, which has leaf-like structure but not actual leaf, and this is a structure which we call it sporophyte. This is Pinus, and this is for a common example, a common known plant. Whenever we take a name of pteridophyte, a fern comes in our mind, the pteris. Okay, so let's discuss some features. That the term Archegoniate was first introduced by the Russian botanist Ivan in 1876. They include bryophyte, pteridophyte, and gymnosperm. I have shown you all examples, and in light of evolution, if we see the bryophytes are primitive one, the pteridophytes are more advanced than bryophytes, and gymnosperm are more than that. Okay, but if we talk about angiosperms, they are the most advanced form of the flowering plants, which is well dominated nowadays. Okay, so the embryophyte, the Archegoniae are those embryophytes whose female sex organ is enclosed within the archegonium. As I told you, archegonium is a specialized structure which is in case of only archegoniates. So their female sex organ is enclosed within the archegonium, and I'll discuss the structure of archegonium. And in contrast to angiosperm, as we know, they have gynoecium, which has a structure called stigma, style, and ovary that encloses the ovule, which upon fertilization, post-fertilization events, produces the seed. Okay, archegonium. What is archegonium? See, this is an archegonium, which is showing you a cover cell, a stalk, and a basal venter. Let's discuss what it is. Somewhat it is looking like a vase shaped structure, which has a long tubular neck, a basal swollen venter, and you can see outer layer. This is what we call it as jacket layer, which helps in protection, which gives protection to this whole structure. So this is neck canal cell. Okay, here you can see this is whole the stalk, which is neck. This is swollen venter. Venter contain a egg, which is non-motile and which is fertile generation. Okay, non-motile, and this is a venter canal cell, sterile hota hai, and this is the swollen venter. This is neck canal cells, okay, which is present in the neck region, in 5 to 6 in number hote hain. And You can see this is a microscopic view of the same. So let's discuss some unifying features of the archegoniates. The gametantia of the archegoniates is multicellular and it produces the gametes. Okay, the female sex organ is in archegoniate is enclosed within the archegonium, which contain a non-motile egg. Antheridia, which is globose. See, antheridia, which is globose or oval kind of thing, and that encapsulate several antherozoids. These are antherozoids which are enclosed by outer jacket layer, which may be single or double layer sometimes. And this antherozoid or this antheridia is connected to the plant body with a basal stalk. Here also, in case of archegonium, it is connected to the plant body with a stalk. As in case of this, it is also connected with a stalk to the plant body. This outer sterile jacket layer and inside spermatids. These spermatids, which upon metamorphosis, and metamorphosis is what? It is cell division and some kind of differentiation and modification, leads to spermatozoids, which are motile, flagellate, and represent the male gametes. As I have shown you in first slide, that is biflagellate structure, which is a feature of primitive plants, okay, in case of algae. As in case of algae, we have seen that they have their male gametes biflagellated. Okay. Now, after fertilization, the haploid egg becomes diploid zygote and further division leads to embryo. But the best part is that the embryo is retained within the archegonium. Why? In case of bryophytes, the sporophyte which is developing is totally dependent upon the gametophytic plant body for the nourishment and for further division purpose. Okay. There is a morphological reduction in sexual and gametophytic phase and evolution of sporophytic phase. What this line means? That there is a morphological reduction of the sexual and gametophytic phase and is an evolution of sporophytic phase. So as I have shown you some images here in my first slide, see, okay, in the second slide, you can see this is a bryophyte, this is a pteridophyte, and this is a gymnosperm. Okay, so this funaria, which has leaf-like structure but not leaf again, this is whole gametophyte, and you can see this is more dependent by because this is connected to the substratum. This is greeny because of chlorophyll present in it. AB and carotenes are present, which perform photosynthesis and makes its own food. Okay, and the rhizoids, there are rhizoids which helps in encouragement of plant and certain water absorption. This is whole sporophytic plant of gymnosperm, the pinus. This is whole sporophyte. The gametophytic plant is for some extent here, but here you can see the gametophyte is full-fledged. But here the say female cone or male cone is for some limited time. As in case of same this, you can see this is whole sporophytic plant body. So this is what that line means. As they have evolved from bryophyte. As we move from bryophyte to pteridophyte to gymnosperm, there is gradual reduction of the gametophyte and increase of the sporophyte. Okay. So let's move further. As I have told you that in bryophyte, sporophyte phase is totally dependent upon the gametophytic phase. And one more order is there, anthocerotales. They show some exceptions. They comes in bryophytes. They show some exceptions that they are advanced. They are having advanced land plant characters that will list, that we have listed, and I'll let you know. All archegoniate possess distinct gametophyte and sporophytic generation. That means in one era, like I'll show you. Wait, this is what we call as heteromorphic type of alternation of generation. So you can have a look at this also. Suppose this is a funaria. Okay, this is the gametophytic plant body. It has male and female on different parts. Okay, if it is showing sexual dimorphism, so they both will mate together or the fertilization will take place and it will lead to the formation of zygote, then further embryo. This embryo will lead to the formation of zygote, which is very not that prominent as in case of this one. This is whole sporophyte, but you cannot see where is gametophytic plant body. So this sporophyte further will produce, this sporophyll will produce some spores, which upon germination give rise to this haploid gametophyte again. And further it will produce sporophyte, and again it will produce spores, and then again gametophyte. This is what is when the gametophyte and the sporophyte alternate with each other, then it shows heteromorphic type of alternation of generation. We will discuss this in detail. So here are some features of the land habitat of the bryophytes, that among Archegoniate, bryophytes are considered as the amphibians. Why? Because they have some land habitat characters also, and as well the water is necessary for the dialysis of antheridia, or say breakage of the antheridial wall for the liberation of anthrozoids, and transfer of anthrozoid from antheridia to archegonia, opening of archegonial neck, and movement of anthrozoid into the archegonial neck for further fertilization. So the features are that the land habitat features are, they have rhizoids for encouragement and for water absorption. The epidermis is covered with a waterproof waxy substance which prevent water loss and protect it against desiccation or say dehydration. Okay, they brittle in case of dry condition or drought, and they get green as the water falls over them. And the one more feature, that they are used as packaging material, because they have they have some retention of water inside their body. Sex organ are well protected by the outer sterile jacket layer. Okay, so now moving forward, the pteridophyte and gymnosperms, which are known as trichiophytes. Why? Because they have developed some advanced feature than bryophytes. That's why they are called as trichiophytes, because they have xylem and phloem, extravascular um, or tissues. Okay, and they dominated terrestrial habitat. The first one, it was Rhynia and Cooksonia, belongs to pteridophytes. They dominated the land. What were the features that are listed here? That they had a well-developed root system for the encouragement, for for water movement and everything. The plant is exposed. See, this is an equisetum, a horsetail. This plant is well organized and is in the air, is in full-fledged. See, it is getting enough light, the maximum light energy it should get, and it is in presence of atmospheric air, that photosynthesis and respiration take place very easily. Okay, they have xylem and phloem for the water, mineral conduction, and for food, respectively. Okay, so the plant body or the outer epidermis, if it's seen anatomically, so the epidermis is covered with a cutin which protect it against the pathogens and reduce the water loss. As in case of dry condition, what happened, that they lose their they shed their leaves. They shed their leaves. Why? Because there is much loss of water. As in case of transpiration, the more the number of leaves, the more water we lost from the plant. So as to remove or as to retain the water inside, they shed their leaves. They have some scaly leaves, foliage leaf, as in case of pine, and reduced leaves. The roots possess some tubers to store food, to deal with some adverse conditions. They have long creeping rhizomes. Okay, so that's all for today, that we have discussed about some unifying features of Archegoniate and some land habitat features of these plants, that how they became dominated over the earth for some extent or for some era. Thank you.